Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, come along with me on my 3-day Chicago trip. Going to Chicago has been on my bucket list for a while now, and a few weeks ago, guess what? I finally got to do it. Chicago was more fun than I expected, and I'm glad I finally got to scratch it off my bucket list. Chicago is a beautiful city in the United States. One thing I love about it is how it's got this urban feel, yet it still finds a way to incorporate the local American culture. You'll see it in their food, in their art, and even in their historical landmarks. I got to Chicago at O'Hare International Airport on a sunny afternoon. And after going through the security check, I took an Uber to get to my hotel. Chicago can be quite windy, so make sure you pack some sturdy clothes for your trip. It's best to travel to Chicago between May and June or September and November. Every other time is just cold. Brr. Getting back to my hotel, I was jet lagged and I couldn't do anything. So as soon as I got to my hotel room, guess what? I just took a shower and fell asleep. Day 1. I got up the next day and began my sightseeing. First things first, I went on a boat tour of the city. I went on the Chicago Architectural Boat Tour. It felt like the perfect way to start my morning, and I was not disappointed, y'all. I felt so calming and peaceful gazing at the beautiful sights as we sailed down the Chicago River. It was a much needed therapy, guys, something that I really needed and something that you'll enjoy too. The cruise itself was fun and educational. I got to learn about Chicago's most iconic landmarks, practically building by building, like brick by brick. It was as if every building we passed had a story, which I found kind of fascinating. I saw buildings by Mies van der Rohe, Skidmore Owens Merrill, and Helmut John. I also got to see the Willis Tower and the old post office building, which didn't look as old as it was. I really was impressed by the architecture, and the tour really piqued my interest. If you want to get a real feel for Chicago's history, then a boat tour guide is the perfect way to go for you. Okay, so Chicago has some pretty interesting stories, particularly the stories about the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Those buildings were a testament to the strength and perseverance of the American people, demonstrating their unwavering determination to survive no matter what. The boat tour lasted for about 90 minutes and cost $54. Now, next up was the famous Chicago River Walk. It's a really popular pedestrian walkway beside the river with a stunning view of the city's skyline. Beautiful. I just want you to know that the skyline is beautiful. There was a lot of shops, restaurants, and cafes. I found a really cozy cafe where I had my breakfast. I ordered my fave, which was the French toast, of course, and it was some of the best French toast I've ever had. I also ordered some orange juice to wash it down, and as soon as I was done, I went on some more sightseeing, because why would I not? I headed out to the Cloud Gate, popularly known as the Bean. I wasn't really impressed by it though, but it's an iconic landmark in Chicago, so I did what any tourist would do. I took some pictures and stared at it for a while. It was shiny though and caught the light, which was cool. If you look at it closely, you'll be able to see a reflection of downtown Chicago, which is dope. Next, I went to spend some time exploring other Millennium Park attractions like Crown Fountain. Crown Fountain is a video sculpture composed of black granite reflecting pool that's positioned between a pair of 50-foot glass brick towers. The towers hold a large video screen that displays larger than life faces of famous Chicago locals. In the summer, the towers act as fountains, making them the perfect place to splash around and cool off. I also went to Lurie Garden, where I took a stroll just for some peace of mind. We all need that, right? Now, kudos to whoever thought of planting this garden because it is so necessary, especially in a city where sometimes it feels like life is just moving way too fast. The atmosphere was very calming and soothing, and I really needed that. When I was done there, I went to grab a snack and got some donuts and coffee and headed down out to the Buckingham Fountain. The view was stunning. It looked like a maze of fountains. Then I stopped at the Aroma Workshop where I had an appointment to create my very own perfume. I had to be sure I smelled great for the evening. In the evening, it was time to explore Chicago's nightlife. So my first stop was the Willis Tower to check out the sky deck. I took an elevator to get to the top, and once I did, I was not disappointed. The view of Chicago at night was so beautiful and bright. It was an awesome experience. Plus, the glass floor made it look like I was in the air, taking it all in. OMG. Next was dinner and some drinks. I went to this cute little bar not too far from my hotel. For dinner, I got some jerk chicken and soul food sides, which were really good. I ordered lemon drops, and then the night was on. Okay. The bar had a nice vibe, and at some point, I started singing along with the songs. And by the time I was done, it was already 1 a.m. So I returned to my hotel and I slept. And for the first day, I had a nice time. The next morning, after a breakfast of cinnamon rolls at a cafe downstairs from my hotel, I headed to the Navy Pier, which is like an amusement park. Listen to me, guys. Which is like an amusement park floating over Lake Michigan. Wow. I had a really great time there. I rode the Ferris wheel, and let me tell you, the view was spectacular. You could see the whole of Lake Michigan from up there. And I also got to try out the rainbow cone ice cream, which was a delight. And having it made me feel like a child again. Now, next up was the stop at the Art Institute of Chicago. I got to see a lot of art pieces and sculptures and learn more about the history of Chicago. And then from there, I went to this taco place for lunch. Tacos. It was like I had entered a new universe for tacos. There was so many toppings to choose from. I had a really great time there too. Then next up for me was the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, which is like the largest Starbucks of the world. It's got 5 floors, and each floor has something different and unique about it. What got me there was the coffee, of course, right? And those people have 100 different ways to make coffee, and the coffee was so good. I ordered the matcha green tea latte, and I was blown away. Chicago Wendy style, blown away, okay? It was the best cup of coffee I've ever had. After the coffee, I went to go check out the WNDR Museum. They made interactive art fun for me there. I saw many fascinating things and went through a maze with 3D glasses on. That was so cool. Now, the next place to visit was the Chicago Theater, which is the Broadway of Chicago. The inside was just as beautiful as the outside, And I even got to see the famous wall of signatures where celebrities sign after visiting. It was just the right blend of art for me. And I got to enjoy a performance for $26.50. Now, at this time, I was getting hungry, so I decided to get a hot dog. Hot dogs are something you have to try when you are in Chicago. They are to die for. They were so delicious. You don't need mustard though. The hot dog was a thrill all on its own. Now, after I was done, I went back to my hotel to take a nap because I was a bit tired. When I woke up, it was already evening, so I freshened up and headed out. Let's go. First up was dinner at a restaurant. I ordered the deep dish pizza. That's famous in Chicago. And it was one of the best things I've ever tasted. Chicago raised the standard when it comes to pizza for me, honey. From there, I went to 360 Chicago. The view from up there was surreal. Okay, when I say surreal, so unreal. There was a lot of screaming at the beginning when the glass started tilting down. But by the time I saw the view, I was blown away. Again, Chicago windy style. I sat down just to relax and enjoy the scenery. It was $30, well spent. And afterward, I retired for the day to rest. Night night. I woke up early, had a nice breakfast, and went kayaking in the Chicago River. It was a blast. It cost me $60, but it was so worth it. I had fun paddling down the river and enjoying the breeze. It felt so good on my skin. And then from there, I went on to try out the famous Garrett's popcorn. And it did not disappoint. Next stop was the Ice Cream Museum, where I had to pick an ice cream name, and then I enjoyed a variety of flavors. I had the time of my life there, and the heat made the ice cream a welcomed relief. Now, it was my last day, so I went shopping on the Magnificent Mile. I got some cute souvenirs from my trip that were within my budget. I also stopped at a cafe and had a cheesecake, which was so delicious. I ordered a smoothie to go and did some more shopping. And by the time I was done, it was evening and I had plans. You know your girl is a nightlife girly, so I had to go back to my hotel, freshen up, and head out to experience Chicago's nightlife one last time. Chicago, honey, did not disappoint. I went to this cool speakeasy bar and had a fantastic time there and partied hard. The DJ, now let me tell y'all, kept playing hits after hits after hits. I arrived at my hotel at 2 a.m, exhausted. And ended up sleeping in my party clothes. I had a wonderful time in Chicago. It did not disappoint. I will be visiting again soon, and I'll likely bring one of my girls with me.